Marriage is under massive demonic attack in our culture. Marriage is hated by the devils as the work of God. It also is under attack culturally or politically, which is downstream from the spiritual battle, right? The demons are attacking marriage, but they're also inspiring many people to attack marriage. Many politicians, many public intellectuals despise marriage. I would particularly point out the vicious and aggressive attack on marriage by the LGBT movement. The sexual revolution has at its base a complete rejection of sexual norms. The principle that underlines the sexual revolution and its offspring is sexual anarchy. There can't be forms, there can't be permanent norms from God, and therefore marriage, which stands as the bedrock of civilization upon which any culture is built, is right in the target of the devil and those who serve him, some knowingly, many unknowingly, through the LGBT movement and the sexual revolution. So marriage needs defenders today.
Brooklyn ain't New Yorker, but I'm here for a reason. If you see me walk on water, I'm a G to the whole D. No, 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 I'm a G to the whole
D. Young, it's the Will Kid, the Rebel, the Wizard, and I have a video that may go over people's heads, okay? And this theory is about the first time in human history, in recorded time, right? Someone has cheated outside of marriage, and why cheating is the natural enemy to a marriage, okay? Same, like I said, some may even disagree with what I'm about to say, but I'm about to provide 2 cases and points and then present my theory, all right? I think there is more to the story on Adam and Eve and the serpent. Keep in mind these 2 things throughout this message, okay? Context and the word beguiled. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 2 through 4 states, "For I am jealous for you with godly jealousy, for I have betrothed you to one husband." Betrothed means to basically be engaged to one husband, to be engaged to you one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ, okay? But I fear lest somehow, as the serpent deceived Eve by his craftiness, so your minds may be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ. Beguiled Eve, meaning charmed and enchanted Eve, okay? So to me, this shows a seduction that was used by the serpent to deceive, and it has a sexual connotation to it simply because, like I said in this verse, he said that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. You feel what I'm saying? That you being a virgin to your husband is symbolizing the same way you being a virgin towards Christ. You feel what I'm saying? But I fear lest somehow, as the serpent deceived Eve by his craftiness, so your mind be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ. So that sounds like, to me, he using seduction, like I said, to deceive. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15 through 16. These are the punishments, right? This is my second case in point. Or I think this is my second case in point. I'm going to just keep going. Basically, these are the punishments between Adam, Eve, and the serpent. But for this in particular case, 15 and 16, is Eve and the serpent, right? Peep game. 15. And I will put enmity between thee, the serpent, and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. So listen, off just that alone, there's another sexual connotation to this whole thing. Enmity between the serpent and the woman, meaning separation. And between this separation, there will be an animosity between each other type shit. You feel what I'm saying? You will not fuck with each other. You feel what I'm saying? But right here is the seed part. And between thy seed and her seed. So, like, her nation, his nation. How the fuck? Let's just keep reading. Okay? That's how I know there's a sexual connotation between this shit. Something happened there sexually. Something happened there sexually between those two because the seeds were separated. It shall bruise thy head and thou shalt bruise thy heel. So they will be at war. 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Meaning baby, right? Conception, baby. Sorrow, meaning you will go through pain. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. It's clear that Satan's seed and Eve's seed will be at war. But why was the punishments having to do with something sexual? Separation of seed, sexual reproduction, right? Both Eve and the serpent punishment was sexual, but Adam's punishment didn't have to do anything, had anything to do with any sexual shit at all. He had to work for the rest of his damn days. Okay? Now let's go back to the second punishment in verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Okay? In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And listen right here. I'm going to break down this part right here. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Okay? So, for listening to the serpent, the woman goes through pain and sorrow and gives birth, and she is to be ruled by her husband. Why does the man has to be the leader and take charge of his wife and make sure she submits to him? Because she went outside of Adam's control. It went under Satan's control. And that's why God made sure that there was a division of control between the serpent and the woman. That's why enmity between the serpent and the woman is there. That's why. You feel me? Now, when you read 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 10 through fucking 15, this shit will make more sense to you more than ever before. Verse 10. But which is proper for a woman professing godliness with good works. 11. Let a woman learn in silence with all submission. And I do not. Now this is where females be getting mad. But this is the verse. This is why you understand this verse more clearly now. Verse 12. And I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man, but to be in silence. Right here, 13 is the reason why. 13 and 14, women, this is some shit. You gotta peep game right here. For Adam was formed first, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived fell into transgression. 15. Nevertheless, she will be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith, love, holiness, and with self-control. Understand me. This whole chapter basically lets you know what was cursed to you from Eve doing what she did will turn into a blessing for you as a woman if you continue in faith, in charity and holiness with sobriety, right? That's the cheat code for the women. Do that and you'll bypass the curse that was placed on humankind through Eve, because she did the exact opposite. See? But now you can see why the man has authority and why it's important to understand the context of why that's the case. All right? You listen to a whole nother person. You feel me? And now this is the punishment on why you did so. And it get deeper than rap. Peak game. Let me just raise a question for the naysayers, right? On this theory. If they would ask me, if they was in front of me, if Adam took of the fruit as well, are you saying something sexual went on with him as well? No. Watch this. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 14 stated that he didn't get deceived. He only ate the fruit. All right. Okay. Look. So now this is when shit get interesting. You get part of the story now. You feel what I'm saying? Now you get the context of the story. So this is my theory on what happened with that story, and I'm gonna pull from today in the Bible. So please follow me right here. This is where shit get funky. So let's break down bar for bar what happened that day. You know what I'm saying? And I'll sprinkle my theory throughout the text as we go. All right? The temptation and the fall of man. Genesis chapter 3. This is the story, y'all. And I'm gonna break down everything I can. Look, if you a Bible listener and Bible reader and stuff like that, a lot of the stuff I'm not gonna try to explain, but I'm gonna explain what is the most problematic questions throughout this whole sermon. And if you can back me up with text throughout, you know, the comments and stuff like that, please do so people can understand what I'm saying. But I do not have like I have it in my brain, but I don't have it like that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not there yet. I'm not that good. But just peak game. And if you can help me connect the dots biblically, then do so. But I'm telling you, everything that I'm saying is in here. You feel what I'm saying? So, understand me. Chapter 3. Let's get it. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord had made. And he said to the woman, let's stop right there. Stop right there. I'm going to do it as quick as I possibly can so then you can understand the context of what's happening right now. You have to understand, when God made Adam and Eve, you feel what I'm saying? They were the first humans, you feel me? But they were under a totally different ruling than us. You're going to see what I'm going to say, and this text here is going to back up what I'm saying. So, God in the Bible always described like certain spirits or certain spirits as like something, like in context of a representation. So we, as the reader, can understand it, but then if you understand it spiritually, you'll get the whole context. Yes, he is saying that the serpent is Lucifer. You feel what I'm saying? But they're always saying, like, how can a snake talk? Listen, he moves snake-like. When he went to the heavens as this angry red dragon and told 1/3 of the heavens some shit. It was his tail. They say it's his tail that he told. But it doesn't specify that in the Bible specifically. They make him like a big red dragon. And with 1/3 of his tail, he swiped out 1/3 of the angels of heaven, and they became on his team. It wasn't his actual tail like a dragon's tail. It was his tail that he told to convince all the angels to go against God. That's the tail. The representation of the cosmetics of this dragon or serpent, you feel what I'm saying, is a description of how this spirit moves. He moves snake-like. He is a charmer. You feel what I'm saying? The best representation to describe this here spirit, you see what I'm saying, is a serpent. Don't believe me? Peep game. When Jesus went into the water, came out, the Holy Spirit came down like a dove. Is you saying to me that the Holy Spirit is a dove? No, he said the characteristics of how he came down, how this spirit came down and basically placed his hand on God's shoulder, Jesus' shoulder basically. He came down from the heavens like a dove. He descended like one. He wasn't a dove, motherfucker. It was something like it. Just came down like one. So it was a spirit that had a representation or the attributes of a dove. See? So off the rip, you understand that we are in a totally different fucking thing. We have human beings able to interact with said spirits that are there. See what I'm saying? Reason why you know that, let's keep it going. Watch. He said to the woman, has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Peep how he's speaking. Okay? He knows the rule. Obviously, because he asked her to ensure that she knew it. Has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Question mark. You feel what I'm saying? 2. And the woman said to the serpent, so now there's an interaction. She can see this motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? They right here. See? We may eat the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the tree which is in the midst of the garden. She didn't even label the shit. You know how, like, think about what I'm saying here, right? Like, when, say if, I'm gonna bring it to today's time. Say if you in a club, right? And you talking to a girl, and girl said that she got a man, and you now are saying to yourself, like, do your man basically got you type of shit? And she goes like, well, I don't know. He did say he can do this, that, this for me. You know what I'm saying? She's saying in that's the tone right now. That's how the tone is. You feel what I'm saying? And if Buddy is the player, he'll leech on to that and say some shit like this, right? She's saying it in this connotation, like, she said, we may eat the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Now, this is when the player pop up. This is the two truths and a lie. That's what I call the schematics. In order for somebody to believe a lie, you got to give them the truth first. You feel what I'm saying? So this is the lie. Boom. This is me talking right out of draws. Then the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die. For God knows that, well, you will not surely die is the lie. For God knows that in the day you will eat it, your eyes will be open and will be like God, knowing good and evil. Let's break that down right there. So, as a man, right? If I'm in that situation, I know this shorty got a woman. Shorty got a man. You find what I'm saying? And she's basically telling me what this nigga can do and cannot do type of shit. You find what I'm saying? All I have to do is basically, man, bro ass ain't shit. You feel what I'm saying? Knowing that I know He is a good man. I know he's a good man. I know the truth. She told me what this nigga do, and I knew the truth behind everything the moment you said you got a man. You feel what I'm saying? Gotta be a good man the way how you look, type of shit. See? So this nigga is in the midst of talking to her, trying to find out where he can plant this lie. Bro ass ain't shit. Because if he was on shit, then he would have done woo for you. You feel what I'm saying? Which could be the truth. In this form of fashion, same way how he said to shorty ass right here, for God knows that in the day you will eat it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. That was not a lie. That is a truth. How do he know that though? This is where it get funky. How do Satan knows this? Because he is a spirit that was of high ranking. Like I said, I'm not gonna break this shit down. Just peep game on the theory. He's a spirit of high ranking, so he knew secrets that even other angels didn't even fucking know. He knew schematics that God had planned and all of these things. You feel what I'm saying? So when he looked think about it like this. He don't like us at all. The spirits, like the evil spirits, don't like us at all. Why? They look at us, like the angels look at us as feeble creatures. They look at us like, why the fuck God keep on saving these motherfuckers? You feel what I'm saying? So imagine when your father has plans on transforming into a lesser being than himself. Going from God to Jesus Christ. Everyone knows the plan because Jesus is up there. Jesus is up there. Everybody knows this shit. You know what I'm saying? Of higher ranking, especially him, because he was there. He was right there. You feel what I'm saying? And he being disgusted with that idea. You feel what I'm saying? Understanding the schematics, this nigga is a very smart motherfucker. He understands why he has to do it, but not like that. And of course, he doesn't know that he's going to be the enemy that God is talking about, probably up there. He probably didn't know that as well. You feel what I'm saying? God is, he's more cosmic than the cosmic. He's everything. He's everything. So he knows all. You feel what I'm saying? Angels don't know all. They just know a lot more than us. You feel me? That's why everything is a replication. But I'll break that down in a minute. So, he spit game. He basically told her the truth in order for her to understand the consequences behind eating the apple. She didn't understand fully, but you allowed this man to deceive you. You allowed this spirit to deceive you. So let's keep it going. So, verse 6. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for fruit and it was pleasant to the eye, you see what I'm saying? And the tree was desirable to make one wise. So she understood basically everything that come down with this motherfucking apple. But it looked it too good, and the desire to want to make one wise was too damn big. She took of its fruit and ate. Right? Let's stop right there. No. Yeah. Stop right there. Right there, she was convinced, and she ate the fruit. It specified that she ate the fruit, so she ate the fruit first. What is the consequence behind eating the fruit? If you know, the consequence was that you will be like God, and your eyes will be open, and you will understand what He knows. Like I said, how the fuck do the devil know that? Because he knows that because he was there for the whole schematics of everything. He was there praising the Lord when he made or I don't know if he was. No, he wasn't, and it was gone. But he probably knew of the plans. He wanted to stop it, and now he knows it so much that he replicated today. That's how I know that. Everything is a replication of what God done. And this is one of the biggest replications of all time. If he would have pulled this shit off, it would have been crazy. But it specifies specifically that she ate of the fruit first. Then she went and gave to her husband the fruit, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew they were naked. They sewed fig-free leaves together and made themselves coverings. Watch this shit. Now this is where my theory goes, right here. What if this happened? Because the only person that has knowledge of what will happen to you after you eat the apple is Satan. You feel what I'm saying? He's the only one at this point in time right now in this context that we know knows the knowledge behind the consequence of eating this apple. So, what if Eve ate the fruit and her eyes was open, but didn't know what the fuck this was? She seen that she was naked, but can't understand the nakedness. Matter of fact, she wasn't even specified to even know anything about this type of shit, because Adam knew everything. He knew the rule. You feel me? He may not know the consequence behind it, but he knew the rule, and she knew the rule too. But the real shit was on Adam. You feel what I'm saying? But back to what happened in that moment. So, say if she ate it, her eyes got open, and the only person at this point in time that can tell her what to do with this body, this naked body of hers, is Satan. So he teaches her and show her certain shit right here at this moment, planting a seed within the woman. Mind you, they are the first humans that can basically see into the spirit realm, so they are immortal beings until she ate from the apple. She ate from the apple, she still can see this spirit, but her eyes are not open to the flesh she has. So he explains to her what to do, how to move, and now bring this apple bring this fruit over to Adam, and you tell him what I taught you. Look, where is it? Right here. So bang, it was so fucking fast. It's not even funny. Like the text even like it doesn't specify time. That's why you have to put time into it. Right here. Pleasant eyes. She also right here. Yeah. She took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband. Gave her, to her husband with her, and he ate. Then both of their eyes were open. They both knew they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves covering. So, boom. Imagine. Because if he was there, Adam would have stopped everything. Because he knew first not to eat from this fucking fruit. So the whole and the responsibility would have been on Adam, and Adam wouldn't did that shit. It even shows it's backed by text that he didn't. You feel what I'm saying? He wasn't there. She brought this fruit to him, right? He probably like, yo, what the fuck? What are you doing? Didn't God say not to eat from this fruit? And then she go, I know, but like you gotta see what I see. I don't understand basically any of this shit. Like she probably breaking down this shit like I got a whole new body. Like you gotta see what I see. This shit is crazy. Like this was for the knowledge of good and evil. Like woo. Whatever she said convinced him. And mind you, this is my wife we're talking about. If I'm Adam, this is my wife when we talk about. So why not? Like, and God made this woman for me. So, like, it'd be hard not to listen to her. You feel what I'm saying? Especially at this point in time when she's talking about some shit that I have no clue about. Only thing I know is to not eat of this motherfucker. I didn't know about the knowledge and good and evil shit. I didn't know about all this extra shit that the devil brought to you to bring to me. It wasn't as simple as him just eating the apple. She convinced him to eat the apple. So when he ate it, God came. Boom! No, not even that. Not even that. He ate it, right? Peep game. Ate it, and then his eyes got open. Realized, oh shit. And he start game planning. Like, oh no, we are naked. They both realize they naked, right? You feel what I'm saying? And then sewed themselves up with fig trees, like to cover up their nakedness. Because before, when their eyes were closed to the fact that they were butt-ass naked out there, there was no shame. So if you have no shame in your game, you don't even notice other people noticing you naked. That's how I know it was a transparency, it was a transformation. Because if these niggas was immortal beings, human, no need for clothing or anything like that, nothing to their satisfaction, because y'all were whole beings. We were whole beings. Then got corrupted. So now we are now in a corrupted state. The corruption is the fact that now we have separation between spirits. We can't see spirits the way we used to see spirits before. You feel what I'm saying? And we have now an enemy within ourselves. Because like I said, the transaction, in my opinion, wasn't a physical body and they, you know what I'm saying, having sex. No, I believe it was a spiritual transaction. Because it makes sense on how you can, it makes sense on this, on war type of shit. How else can the serpent, right, get an army just like that? An army of his children just like that. Say if God never intervened and he allowed Adam and Eve to eat from the tree that he told them not to eat from, and then eat from the tree of life. The tree of life would have made these niggas eternal beings again with the defiled bodies that they have, the defiled spirits that they have. And it would have been no contradiction or anything to stop the fact that these niggas would have been corrupted eternal beings. That's why it was important to kick both of these niggas out of the garden. Because if they ate from that tree, there would be no possible way for God to come and save us. Why? Because we would have been Satan's children, Satan's seed. That's why he separated the seeds and we are at war with them. Understand? So, this shit was a spiritual thing that happened on the human body. That's why you have a conscience. You have a good guy and a bad guy in you. That's how the fuck you can become Satan's child. Through the spirit of possession. The Holy Spirit possesses you and the fucking evil spirit possesses you. It's all through possession. But why is everything in a sexual connotation? That's how you know. Like, think about it like this. Why is the devil worshiping shit always sexual? Why everything is always sexual? Why they gotta do sexual rituals? Why they gotta do all of this shit in order to praise their so-called God, Satan? You feel what I'm saying? Why do they have to do that? Because it's in representation to what the fuck he did in the beginning in chapter 3. Boom! There it is. It's the representation of what the fuck he did in chapter 3. It's the same shit. So now back to marriage. Why is it that cheating is the natural born enemy to marriage? Because marriage is the 100% representation of God. You, man, woman, and God being in one unity that represents damn near the same damn thing. God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy fucking Spirit. You see what I'm saying? So if marriage represents that, cheating is the natural enemy to a marriage, which that means anyone that is the cheater or the motherfucker that makes someone else cheat is possessed by the spirit of Satan and Eve. In my opinion, I don't know about like Eve part, but that Satan one, that shit hit. Boom. Like anyone that has game, that can get a bitch to go against their said boyfriend or their husband, that nigga is possessed by the spirit of Satan at that moment in time, because he's using the same exact strategies and laws that Satan used against Eve to beguile her. Any nigga that got game is trying to beguile women. Same shit, different toilet, same function, flush, motherfucker. So at the end of the day, reason why marriage is so attacked is because it's the best representation of God through set human race. Period. Dot. That is it. So when you are in a marriage, you're going to be in a constant battle ultimately, because the natural enemy is always going to be around the corner to beguile the weak one. The weak one is represented through Eve. That's why she needs her strength. Her strength comes through the man now. It's ordained to, because of what happened before. That's why the unity in a marriage and the uniqueness of the set ruling between husband, wife, children, God. God, husband, wife, children. That is important because of what the fuck happened in Genesis chapter 3. That's why all this shit is shaking, and the reason why it's all going down on said marriage and everybody not believing it no more. And nobody, all this shit is to water it down to a point that you won't even recognize God within it. So then you won't see the importance, and then you'll do all the other shit to basically clown God in a sense. Like, how the fuck can you say if two, like I said, two men fuck around and say that they want to be married, they can't, that's not a marriage, because through definition, a marriage is between a man and a woman in the Bible. See? But if you don't understand it from that form of fashion, then you won't care. It won't matter to you. It won't matter to you. But let me close off that message with just stating that. You dig what I'm saying? Please like, share, and subscribe. That's a lot. That's a lot, I'm not gonna lie. And hopefully a lot of people can understand the context of what I'm saying and why marriage is so important. And when you see a cheater around this motherfucker, that's the reason why. He's on attack.